I mean, they've won 22 in a row, 32 in a row now. How, you've been in similar streaks. How hard is it to keep it rolling that long?
Very hard when you got the right players and the right coaches. That's they recruit well. They know what it takes. The two staffs that I've seen there now, and just success breeds success. It's the kind of way it was at Montana. Got rolling at North Dakota, at Northern Colorado. Finally caught these guys, but it took me a long time. Long time, I think about 15 years.
That was back in '91, man. I remember when you commented, you just beat God.
Maybe.
You remember that?
I don't, but I know that after we beat him, I got on the radio and invited everybody in town in my backyard for all beer they won. It was kind of a Kodak moment for me.
If they were God back then, what are they now?
They're about the same. They're doing it to everybody. They were at this point one time, maybe not as many in a row, but they were winning national championships just about like they are now. It's just amazing the horsepower they have at Fargo. And started in the 60s with a guy that became the AD and the football coach, head of the PE department. All of a sudden they had a budget. And he knew what to do. And then they have just been amazing at reload. Ron Earhart, you name the coaches right along the way that one after the other. Rocky, of course. That Bob, I thought, did some really good things. I don't know if he had a national championship, but just about everybody along the way at some point has won a national championship that coached at North Dakota State, and their fans, I forget what they call them, boosters, that they get into it, they pump some money into it, and their facilities are second to none in our league. They do a beautiful job of recruiting. They're positive recruiters. Can't say that about every school up in North Dakota. But they never speak down about your school or somebody else. Always positive about their program and positive about what they do and who they are. And that's been forever. They've been really classy people all through my time going against North Dakota State. And that's, that's why they keep being successful. They had really good people in administration, good people in raising money until they got Jack Mohan. Just kidding. Strike that from the book. No, that'll be a step forward for them again. He's that good. That guy's worked with him a long time, and he's not only good to work with, but fun to work with, and enthusiastic. And now you give him this card to drive, and he'll do a great job for you.
Seems like you were pulling out a lot of stops. Fake punt, heavy rush.
Oh, we could try something different. That punt thing didn't go off like it was supposed to. Crowd was too loud, and we didn't. Half of them got the audible, and half of them didn't. I'll bet we had 5 ineligible receivers downfield. I saw Chris yelling at them. And, some heard one audible, and some heard another. And our punter threw a strike in there, didn't he? He just missed our center downfield about 20 yards. So some heard green and white sound a lot the same, and some heard green and some heard white. And but we didn't practice it with the crowd noise when we did that punt. We didn't think it'd be very loud, but I think we got away with one there. I don't know how far it went.
You mentioned all of those coaches and everybody in their run through NDSU. What can you say about Kleiman and what he's bringing to the table now?
He put his hand right in the glove, and everybody knows what a good guy he is. He's earned it. He's earned his stripes, man. He went there and helped them win what they won, and 3, and he deserves the chance, and he's 8-0 at it. That's pretty good right there. So. Yeah, he's just a good person, like all those other guys. He won't screw it up. that's good men right there.
Was Omaha pretty highly contested recruiting area?
Well,
Not.
it all depends, you know, what year. If Gale Sayers is coming out, that'd be a pretty good recruit. Nebraska didn't get him. But it's a, you know, it's a metro area for us that I had a recruit here, or a teammate here today at the game named Philip Wise. Some of you maybe don't even know him because we were older. Philip went and played 9 years in the NFL for the New York Jets, and most people never heard of him, but he came here from Omaha Tech, which is now defunct. But he went back to Omaha and finished the rest of his time at UNO, and then went on to the league for 9 years and was probably one of the, there's a lot of kids in Omaha. It's I think it's a great metro area, great football area. We played Omaha teams when I was growing up, and there always kids were a little bit tougher, a little bit more schooled in football, and so yeah, and it's a, you know, it's 2 hours from here, from us, so that is an area that we've got to work on, and we do. South Dakota State's doing a good job in there. They got a guy that coached in the metro area, and so it, and they've had a little more success as of late than we have, and kids see that as important. And but we'll win some. We'll get some. We already have. We've won a few fights down in Omaha, not all of them. But you know, the two kids that just sat at the table were guys that we worked real hard on, especially the big linebacker. That's what they look like, don't they? Huh? That guy? Really? So yeah, but that, you know, we work from the steps of Old Main on out here, and I think I have a picture in my office of maybe 14 guys from Nebraska on our team, and ultimately they became conference champions. I think Joe Salem won 3 in a row and had a lot of kids from what I just talked about. Tom Engelman was a Hall of Fame quarterback here that came from Scotts Bluff. But it's our neighboring state. I think, like almost everybody else, we try and recruit anybody in South Dakota we think that can play, and fight like cats and dogs over those guys. And then Nebraska's a neighboring state. Iowa's, and a lot of, probably the most on our team are kids from the state of Iowa, because they're so populated and so many good football players and good athletes. So, and I think we've done better in Minnesota before, especially when, like, we had coaches on the staff, about 3 or 4 of them from Minnesota, that had connections in the state. So yeah, recruiting is what it is. Everybody fights like cats and dogs, but it's almost, to me, like when North Dakota State gets done and who they want, the rest of us can fight like cats and dogs over. So.
Do you feel better after this game than you did after last week against Missouri State?
Yeah, last week was horrible. It was really bad, and you saw how, you know, we can't turn the ball over 3 times. Our running back hadn't been playing. He gets in there, Jordan Roberts, in the first play gets stripped, and he just hadn't played for a while. And then Kevin, you heard Kevin say he can't. He's got to play within the offense, and if they take the curl away, you got to check down. And it's a couple weeks in a row now, so Kevin's going to get coached a little harder this week than he likes.
Joe, there was a little bit of that sense of maybe bewilderment with the problems last week. Do you have a better idea now of where this team has to get better? Or?
It has a pretty hard defense to go against, to downgrade, you know, your linemen. And, you know, we played better defensively. I know in the end, second half, it's not good, but we played a pretty clean game defensively the first half, I thought. And, you know, until you see the film, it's hard to tell. You know, we held them to 4 field goals. And still not getting turnovers. You know, and I'll just flat out tell you, if you've got good athletes, they'll create turnovers. And so we're not athletic enough on the field. When we had Tyler, he'd create turnovers. He'd make a quarterback throw it faster. and get in there and strip the quarterback as he's going to throw. And those are things that we've got to recruit to get guys that can break on the ball a little bit faster. And can, when there's a pass coming down, I remember playing TCU or some of those teams that had just so much speed, and it seemed like every time a ball got to a receiver, it was boom, and the ball would pop up, and of course, they'd rally and tackle to get it. That's kind of what I see out of North Dakota State right now. They're really contesting almost every pass that's thrown. So you can't get anything over their head. We tried and threw a 60-yard interception. It turned out to be a pretty good punt. There was no return on it. But you have to be really cautious about checking down, because they're going to take away the intermediate and intercept the long. That's where you start on Garfield Street. When you play defense, you make them throw short, rally up and tackle. If they throw the intermediate, you knock it down. And if they throw it long, you intercept it. And that's what North Dakota State does. They cover the long one. And if you throw intermediate, they're there to knock it down. And if you throw short, they'll let you complete it and run up and tackle you for a couple-yard gain. Well, you have to be patient and throw short against this team and hope you break a tackle. And we got to learn that. That's football 101 for Kevin right there.
One or two more for Coach. Anything else?
Enjoy your ride, you guys. They all won't last forever.